Okay. How does this Ice Business 3 currently? It is July the 26th, 2026. Okay, so I apologize for my last video that I made when I was drunk as hell. I drunk like several beers and I was like completely out of it. Um, and that video was like 3 hours long. I'm like, wait, yikes. I'm surprised my phone had enough storage to even post that, but I mean, to even store that. Anyway, so in this video, I think I'm gonna title it like "I'm sorry for my last video" because I think I went off on a complete tangent talking about one of my old bosses or whatever. So I think what I'm gonna do is basically go down like basically what happened between me and my previous bosses or whatever. Career suicide. My career's already fucked anyway, so I'm like whatever. So anyway, my first job, I worked at a truck stop, and actually I was probably like the best worker there. I never missed a day. Um, even if somebody called out or did not come to work, I would go there in their place because the thing about it is that I was like I wanted money. I'm not a people person, and so I still value money over people and family time. So time goes on, I work my ass off, and yet still no what do you call it raise. Even though everybody else is getting like raises and stuff like that, but it's yeah. I guess a friend she once told me that the squeaky wheel gets the grease or whatever. So I worked there for like six years. Uh, no, and the only raise I got was like 10 cent, and and the boss at the time she was like saying like, oh, don't tell anybody that we gave you a 10 cent raise. I'm like, whatever. So time went on. I think Obamacare came into play, and so the owner he decided to cut hours because I guess he didn't. I guess when Obamacare was became full law or whatever. Um, if a person worked over a certain amount of hours, they had to have insurance, and I think I didn't have insurance at the time. And I think that it would have costed that owner a lot more money than he had. So he made several cuts to that restaurant slash truck stop whatever. And so in the end, the free meals that we were getting, those were cut. Um, Even for the people that worked their butts off and whatever, we had to start paying for our meals. That was one. Two, hours got cut to the point where you might as. So basically, I think at one point I had my schedule was what 20 hours total. However, they wanted to stretch those 20 hours out for throughout 5 days. And I'm like, I don't have the gas to come here 5 days a week, and then with a chick that ain't really even doing anything. It's barely paying for gas. So that was that. But I didn't really say that, and I didn't really know too much about politics and Obamacare and the why. I just saw what was happening. Hours being cut, privileges that we used to have that we did not have anymore, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so it got down to the point where pretty much there's this manager. There was a management change, and so this manager, she saw that I think I was going to college at the time, and so I can only I couldn't work what some days, like I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays, whatever. I can't remember anymore because it was like so long ago. It was like yeah, it's like around 2011, 2012, 2010, 11, 12. One of those years. But so I guess she wanted to hire her daughter on, but the thing about it is I was working there, so it's like yeah. So she did end up hiring her daughter on, but with a few hours, and then slowly she started giving her daughter the hours that I had. And see, I would come there to pick up my check or whatever, and instead of the daughter working or whatever, the daughter was sitting beside a boyfriend talking to the boyfriend or whatever while the work wasn't getting done. And so I took a picture of that, and then I brought it up to the owner, I think, right? And so basically in the end, he took the new manager's side and the daughter's side instead of my side. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to warn you that this what you're doing to me, because you're taking my hours. It's not right, but whatever. And then so then we had a meeting, and it ended in like me saying, okay, if I see what you're trying to do, you're trying to cut my hours to the point where I won't have anything and I can't do anything, so you're going to have to fire me. And so in the end, I think that new manager, she wrote me up 3 times in less than 1 week. I still got a picture of the write ups or whatever. And my hours had got cut to the point where I think she worked on first shift, and the manager worked on first shift, so she had to attach the write up to my clock in card, because of course she's the manager. I'm not going to sit up and wait until this boy comes to work and write him up. I want to put it on his clock in thing, and yeah, for everybody else to see, because the clock in thing, the clock in stamp or whatever, everybody has to get their own. And so I have a write up attached to my clock in thing. And so I'm like, okay. So this manager wrote me up 3 times in less than a week. And then so what I did was I drew a smiley. I drew in a red with a red marker. I drew a smiley face, and I drew an arrow pointing to the back. And so on the back, I wrote down how I felt about the situation. And then so, and then my grandfather passed away. And so I told this manager that I cannot come. Of course, I can't be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but on this very specific Tuesday or Thursday or whatever, I can't come because I'm going to my grandfather's funeral. So I think she fired me a day before my grandfather's funeral. And then so that happened, right. And then so I applied for unemployment, and they blocked me because they said that they said something, and I said no, I did the right thing. They fired me, and so we had a phone call. I talked unemployment, and so the reason why I think that one of the reasons that I was written up was because she said I was mopping the floor while customers were inside of the building. I'm like, you cut my hours to the point where I can't even. I'm barely there like 2 hours. And pretty much there's no other time to mop the floor. And I mop the floor inside of sections just so I can make sure the job gets done, because you want the job done, right? And so in the end, I ended up getting my unemployment. But however, by the time that I had appealed the first denial or whatever, I had already got a job. And so that was that. So in the end, months later, like I said, the man, like I was saying in my drunk video that I made on the 24th, I had to post it on the 25th or whatever, because the file was so big. It was like, I think it was like 11 gigabytes, and I don't know how to manage the storage on this phone. Like I said, I'm using the phone to make these videos or whatever, so, and upload these videos, so I don't have a computer to edit and do this and this and that. But anyway, point. So this manager and this owner or whatever, who I warned I warned the owner about this manager or whatever, that something's not right about her. So months later, I'll go to this truck stop to get some gas, and so lo and behold, the owner's there, and he looks at me all kind of weird. I'm like, hey, and so I just go buy my gas and go on about my way. I'm like, I don't backtrack on whatever. I'm like, if I don't like you, I don't like you. I'm going to just look at you. If you speak, I'm going to say, hey, and I'm going to keep it moving. I'm not going to sit up and be like, what's the point? Anyway, so I'm going to school, right? And I'm working at this other job. And the preacher / manager at one point in time, but he had to step down because he ended up getting sick. I had asked him pretty much what ended up happening, because I don't see that manager there anymore or whatever. So apparently the manager apparently well, allegedly, reportedly, via the preacher who gave him this ring or whatever. Hearsay. Rumor has it that basically that manager was ended up stealing some money from out of the cash register or whatever, or the safe or whatever. The manager or her daughter or both of them. And then also apparently the owner thought that I was so pissed off and so angry that I went there and broke into the truck stop and stole the money. And I'm like, and he was like, he looked at me, the man who gave me the ring. He was like, that boy, that boy wouldn't do that. you might want to step in and listen to what the boy said about that manager. And so I guess that manager ended up getting fired or whatever, and her daughter ended up getting fired. I think the daughter actually ended up going to jail for some reason. I don't know. Rumor has it, allegedly, reportedly, via the rumors. I don't know. And so time went on even further. And so that owner apparently ended up having to sell this truck stop, I guess, to some Indians or whatever. So that's one. So when you try to, I worked with a lady who was a complete bitch, but I mean she did right sometimes. But anyway, she always had this saying. She said, sometimes you might, I mean, not sometimes, you might be digging a ditch for this person, but your ass might be the one that fall into it. So apparently that might be what happened. I don't know. So apparently the truck stop ended up getting sold and I guess remodeled. So do you blame Obama for that, or do you just blame life in general for it? Life happens, but yeah. Anyway, so the next job that I ended up getting, I was working at a local store, and so and keep in mind, I was at that job. I was fired because the manager they just wanted to step in and hire her daughter in basically my place because it was, I guess, convenient for her, in my opinion. So it's just always some fucked up shit in regards to my career. I didn't really do anything messed up. I did, being the fact that she put those write ups on my clock in card. I when she worked for the third time, I didn't really give a shit anymore. What I did was I got those 3 write ups and taped it to the schedule and put on the front door because I closed. I helped the second shift close. And so I put on the door and I was like, okay, here, because I told this woman that I could not come to work because I had a funeral to go to, and she's like, you better be here or else. I'm like, I guess or else then. Anyway, so moving on. So the next job, I got a job at a local store after that. And so I worked there. While I was working there, whatever, I ended up getting deathly sick, but I never missed a day, even when I was sick as shit, and I was almost shitting myself. Having to run to the bathroom or whatever, and get my stuff straightened out or whatever, and then coming back and trying to look as normal as possible because they at that location also, because of Obamacare, they would not give you over I think 20 hours, 30 hours or whatever. And so I didn't have health insurance, and this is like my first time getting like deathly sick. And so I didn't really know what to do and how to handle that situation. In the emergency room, I think I went one time and they gave me some it was Tylenol, but it was like a different name, or Advil, something that was a different name. But so I needed antibiotics, and they didn't prescribe that to me, and so I was sick for so long that I had to step in and go to urgent care. I basically begged for some antibiotics, and those antibiotics still didn't help. And I had to go online and do some research because I was going from doctor to doctor, and pretty much I had to look up my own symptoms, what I had went through, what I did to probably cause the sickness or whatever, and then look at what could fix the problem. And so but that was like years later, even after that. Anyway, so I'm working there, never missed a day. Even at the truck stop location I was working at or whatever, I did get sick one time, and I had a migraine that was so freaking bad. I thought I was gonna freaking, I don't know, die. And so I called in to the truck stop job, and I was like, man, I cannot. I really want to come to work today, but I can't. My head is like killing me. And so my aunt, she said, you know what, take a good powder. I don't take at the time I never took anything. I don't take Advil, I don't take Tylenol, I don't take goody powders and stuff like this. So my aunt, she said like get it, take a goody powder. I was like, I don't want to. She was like, take a goody powder, it might clear it up. And so took a goody powder. 5 minutes later, or maybe at the most 15 to 20 minutes later, headache gone, migraine gone. I'm like, I called the boss back. I'm like, ma'am, did you can I come in please? And she was like, I already called somebody in. Let me call them to see if they want to not come in today. And then so she called that person. She said, hey, you can come in. You can come in. that bitch she did not want to come in at all. And so I was like, okay. She's like, and so when I get there, that truck stop job, she was like, so what happened? Like, how do you get sick one day, and then how you get sick for how are you sick, deathly sick 1 hour, and then you're fine the next? I'm like, I took a goody powder. She was like, boy, bye, just just work, go to work. Anyway, so I'm working at the local store. Okay, so I guess I'm deathly sick. I had to do my own research and then basically tell the doctors what I wanted. I wasn't gonna leave that urgent care until I got it. And then this doctor, what he said to me was, "Oh, so you know?" And I'm like, "What the fuck you mean? I know? Give me this fucking give me this right here." And so previously they was giving me the pill form of some antibiotic. And so one line it said to handle something in case this happens or whatever, you need to get a shot and some antibiotics, not antibiotic shot and some other antibiotics, some oral antibiotics too. And so I'm like, bitch, give me this. He was like, because he specifically said, oh, so you know, you trying to keep me sick. And so I got the shot and the oral antibiotics. It cleared up everything. And so it's like these bitches wanted me to be a returning patient. And I was going from one doctor to another, and them telling me that, oh, you're just getting older. You're just getting older. And I'm like, nah, like something's wrong. And so after that experience, I'm like, any health issue that I have, I'm like, look, I want to do my own research and etc. Because I'm like, it's like some of these people just want to keep you sick and keep you get as much money from you as possible, because at the end of the day, they don't know you. They don't know. All you are is a paycheck to them. All you are is a statistic to them. So I'm like, I don't. I always instead of getting that's the best thing about technology now, is that you can look up what might be called might be the reason that you're sick. But anyway, this job. I'm talking about the job situation. The bitch is trying to keep you skinny, and like it was shocked and pissed me off that this motherfucker said, this doctor said, oh, so you know. I'm like, the fuck you mean I know? Get me I want this shot right here. I don't care how much money I gotta pay for this damn, because I didn't have insurance. I don't care how much money I gotta pay for this damn shot. Give me this shot and give me this those antibiotics and some other antibiotics too. Not antibiotics, but the other pill form tablet or whatever. Anyway, and then also, I say this too, those steroid shots, I would never, ever get another steroid shot ever again, because it fucks up with your fucks up your metabolism, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor. Now, don't take my advice as medical advice, whatever. But so you see a lot of people, they're thin one day, they get sick and they take their steroid shot and they blow up, they balloon up, and that's what I mean. Going back and forth to these doctors, and they're just giving me random shit. When I went online, the official I think medical website or whatever, I went there. They said if this and that, you give them this, and I'm like, I had to be my own damn doctor. Anyway, oh, not So I don't know how, if my face looks fucked up or not, or messed up or not. I got like a full face of this Maybelline Super Stay On. Um, and I think some concealer. Uh, Maybelline Fit Me. Ooh, yeah, here. So the Super Stay in this, and did I use this too? Ooh. So and the powder. So to set the concealer or whatever, I used this, and to just even out the skin tone around the entire face or whatever, I used this Super Stay foundation powder or whatever. I tried this right here. I had to play around with it a little bit more, and right now you can say I'm playing around with ooh, with this right now because this is my first time trying it. So, but I'm very used to this right here right for now. After just trying to play around with it, so that these two right here are like really right about here in a triangle right here, and like there's a dot right here, and I don't know if you can tell. So if I wipe my face and like my face becomes like unevenly whatever. If it looks like makeup is coming off, it just makeup is coming off. I don't really care. I'm just playing around. Um, and the reason why my face is so dewy instead of powdery is that I made some I guess you can say setting spray. I got some vitamin E oil and some aloe gel and some alcohol and some witch hazel. And of course it's not gonna what's the word? It's not gonna really set it. Like if you touch it, it might come off. But I'm just trying to set up and see how it looks, and then when I feel like it, I might buy some more expensive setting spray or whatever. And the great thing about the vitamin E oil, the alcohol, the witch hazel, and the aloe vera gel is that pretty much even if I'm not really like trying to it's multi-use. So if I get a cut or something like that, I can spray it on it and it can pretty much heal it instead of buying some setting spray or whatever and like it not having anything except for like some makeup situation. Anyway, working at this local store because I'm going off on different tangents or whatever. So the reason why I ended up getting fired from there, even though I don't think I ever missed a day, I never missed a day there either. Even though I was very very sick, I was skinnier than I am now, or about the same size, whatever. But because I lost so much weight because I was sick. Right now I don't feel sick. I think that when you use the hemp vapes or the marijuana vapes or whatever, it does cut your weight. I mean, look at Wiz Khalifa, look at Snoop Dogg, Erykah Badu or whatever. They have a. I think that they use, in my opinion, well, based on what I've seen so far, I think they use marijuana or whatever, and you don't ever see them um big or whatever. Whitney Houston, I think that they said that she used marijuana too, but that's besides the point. I'm just throwing out, and I'm not saying like marijuana is a bad thing. I'm just saying like people that use hemp and stuff like that, they tend to have a lower body weight. Because I before the hemp vape or whatever, I was really really big. I was like at what 230 at one point. I think at my biggest I was like at 250, 260. And then I started using the hemp vape, and that's what cut down down my weight or whatever. Let me pause a second. Okay, so I'm back. No, my nose is doggone itching. But so what was I saying? Let me pause for 1 second. Okay, so I'm back. So speaking of weight, I think that the weight epidemic inside the United States began, I think around like the 1970s or whatever. And see, keep in mind around the same time, that's around the time that I think Richard Nixon, he established the drug classification system. And so people who used to smoke marijuana and used LSD and mushrooms and stuff like that, and cocaine and all this other stuff, whatever, they it was outlawed or it went underground, and so that's probably why a lot of people who used to be skinny or whatever aren't skinny anymore because there's not that much of a well, drugs became illegal or hemp became illegal and stuff like that. So it's like yeah. Anyway, And so that led to people gaining weight. So that's another reason why hemp should be maybe legal or whatever, or deregulated or whatever. Anyway, so me working at this other local store job or whatever. Like I'm going on some of the tangents. And I'm drinking water today because I'm like, I drank a lot of alcohol on the 24th. And I'm like, oof, so I'm still recovering. And I prayed that I didn't say anything that was so crazy that the FBI might end up knocking on my doggone door. I was drunk, so yeah, whatever. Blame it on the alcohol. But I do know I went on a complete tangent talking about my Marine boss. So I was like, I'm trying to smooth that over a little bit because I'm like, I know, I know, but that mother that anyway. So the reason why I ended up getting let go from the local store job is because because I was so sick, I had to get a second job to try to get health insurance. And so because that was a part-time job, so I focused on trying to get a full-time job. However, the reason why I didn't completely focus on getting a full-time job, because at the time I think I was still going to school, college. And so I had to graduate college before I could get the health issues situation straightened out. In my opinion, based on how I was just, I don't know. And so I get my degree, my associate's degree. And then like months later, right? Yeah. I found the job that I wanted to have at a online cell phone company or whatever. And so I started working there. And so because I was working there so much, the local store job or whatever, they said, well, we can't we can't basically work around that schedule anymore, so we're going to let you go. But they didn't tell me that they just cut my hours to the point where it was like, it was kind of obvious that it was like yeah. Anyway, so the boss that ended up cutting my hours all the way down, um I think a situation happened where she was also going to school as well. And so apparently she had a major test to take, and I think she left out to take the test, and they came back, and pretty much the head over her was there, and they was like, where were you? And so I think that's how come that person got let go or something like that. But anyway, it's like every boss that tries to mess me up or whatever, even their circles that tries to mess me up, they get messed up. Like I said, I have some side of my chart. It's like an eclipse, just like Donald Trump. Inside of his chart, you try to fuck him over, he's gonna shockingly rise to the top, and you're gonna be looking stupid as hell. And he's gonna probably make him even more money too, some way somehow. Anyway, so in my chart, it shows that I'm gonna have career troubles. But for some reason, that it's the point. It's a lesson. It's like there's gonna in the end, it's gonna be a blow to your ego, a major blow to your egos. So you may do something to me, or try to mess me over, but in the end, you're really messing yourself up. Looking at my chart, it's like the chart's like, it's weird. Just like Donald Trump's chart, like you're like you've seen it. All these people trying to self mess Donald Trump over, and you have to wonder like, wow, how was he able to withstand all this stuff? There's something inside his chart. So anyway, so that's why I'm to the job at the local store. So that's that. So I get this job working at online sales, and so I don't have ever missed a day at that location. And we had paid time off, so it's like I could just put my paid time off. And so I think that I think that at one point in time there was this team leader, but you can say manager, that was jealous of me for some reason or whatever, and so they tried to get me fired. Um, and so I think they tried to write me up or something like that. And so I think they wrote me up 3 times. But on the third time they wrote me up, um, I guess there was a Let me pause a second. Okay, so I'm back. I had to blow my nose, but I think that there was a for some reason a lot of people got fired. Like over like I think 300 people got fired. It was in a news article, but I can't find a news article anymore. And I'm not gonna say the name of the company that had this mass layoff or whatever. But so me thinking that I had just got written up 3 times in a row. I was one of the people that were gonna get fired. But the thing about it is that one thing about me is that in sales, I'm coming correct with that. So they they called me a monster, okay? Because I just if you weren't buying anything on if you weren't buying anything from me, you're gonna be you have like what 1.1 minute and 30 seconds to tell me if you're buying some or not. If you're not buying anything from me, you're getting on my face. You're getting on my face, one way or another. And so I guess they said I was mean as hell. However, I made sales. I got a lot of sales. I was probably the top of my team for that. And so I think what she was trying to get rid of me for was just being mean or whatever. And so I guess the people that were fired from in this mass layoff or whatever, they weren't making numbers in regards to sales or their sales quota. I was making my sales quota, but I was you had two statistics to work to deal with, and so it's how much the customer likes you, because yeah, how much your customer likes you, or your rate your how much your customer rating, and how much they say that they're satisfied with whatever, and then how many sales you make. And so I had a fuck ton of sales. I was making bank. But the customers, I was mediocre in regards to how they how they like me. And so my commission checks were great, but my because of my sales, but my the customer rating score was like low. I'm a salesman. I'm not finna, if you're not buying from me, like, I'm in sales. That's my job, is to sell. Uh it's not to hear your emotional family drama situation or whatever. So a lot of people got fired. It was like a mass layoff for some reason. I don't know what it was. And so I'm sitting inside of I'm sitting in my chair. It's like people getting walked out the damn door, one by one. I'm like, look, I'm finna put in all my pay time off. Fuck this shit. I'm finna stop playing. Like, go home. And so I put my pay time off. They approved it. I get home. I'm waiting a phone call to see if I'm gonna get fired. No phone call. So I come back the next day, and so I'm looking around like, why am I still here? So apparently, the team leader who tried to fire me, they got demoted to become a regular agent like me. And so, and you know, they pissed off. I'm like what? So I'm an asshole, but I'm just genuinely curious. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Why am I still here? And they said there was just a mass layoff. I guess people weren't meeting their numbers. They didn't meet their numbers for such a long time, because they weren't meeting their quotas in regards to sales for such a long time that the mass layoff had to happen or whatever. And being the fact that I was making numbers, I didn't. That's why I didn't get fired. And so I guess people they wanted to hang on to their friends and stuff like that, and that's why they didn't fire them. But those friends weren't making their sales quotas. So that's just that. Anyway, so that manager who tried to fire me got demoted, and then eventually she left. Anyway, so so I ended up getting transferred to another team, and I think that the reason why I eventually ended up getting fired from when I was on his team was pretty much not I think the customer satisfaction ratings or whatever. But it took that was like a year later, I think. No, it was months later. It was like 3 or 4 or 5 months later. So then I get fired from that location or whatever. I think was I able to drop my unemployment? I don't think I even applied for unemployment because I didn't really know to apply for unemployment at the time. But I applied for another job in the same field, and so let me pause for a second because this story is interesting. Let me pause. Okay, so I get fired from that location. I apply to another job. No, so I go to a location that's in the same field, in the same similar company or whatever. And so I'm asking, are they hiring? And apparently they are hiring. And so the man he gives me a card and to go to the website to apply. So I go to this website and I don't see an opening at the location that I just left. I see an opening somewhere else inside of further away. And so in Montgomery, Alabama, because I mean it's a big place. And so yeah, I didn't say the exact name of the company, so it doesn't really matter. So I applied to the one in Montgomery. And so I go back to so I call the manager who I had talked to, who said that there was an opening. And so he I think he said that I get he said that the listing wasn't on the website apparently yet. So he said, come on in. I interview you tomorrow. And so I said, okay. So I go there. I'm wearing khaki pants and a dress shirt. And so he starts the interview. And he's like, he stops. He's wearing a button up shirt, and some suit pants or whatever, and some black dress shoes or whatever. And so before the interview starts, he's like, "Sir, this interview is over with." I'm like, "Well, what's going on?" He was like, "Well, you came inside with some khaki pants on and a regular shirt like that, and those kind of shoes, some kind of whatever." He was talking about how I was dressed. I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I'm sorry." He was like, "When you come to an interview, you wear a suit and a tie." And I'm like, "Okay." So he was like, "Sir, yeah, we won't eat you." I'm like, "Okay." And so I go home. I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess that place is not for me." And so I'm sitting there. Did I drink at the time? Because I started drinking. Yeah, I drank at the time because the time that I was so sick. That's when I started drinking because it was the only thing that help heal that the pain I felt in regards to whatever sickness I had. I'm talking to antibiotics. So I think I ended up somehow I had a big bottle of Smirnoff, right? Right? Maybe Smirnoff, or it was either Smirnoff or a bottle of blueberry wine, pure blueberry wine, pure 100% blueberry wine, and I'm gonna say vermouth. It wasn't vermouth. It was the green stuff, the green fairy, absinthe. I had some absinthe too. So I drank one of those, either some absinthe, some or some, maybe I had some tequila. My favorite drink was to get like some limes or some lemons, and then get some tequila and some sugar, and just have like a tequila lemonade or something like that. So I probably drank that, and then probably add a little pure blueberry wine to it too. Anyway. So I was sitting here probably drinking that, and so I get a phone call. So apparently the job listing that I applied for in Montgomery, the manager from that location, she called me, and I'm like, oh, she was like, I do know that you got interviewed at that location. That dude is a jerk. She said, do you want to come work? Do you want to come and interview at this location? And I'm like, sure. She said, well, you can come in tomorrow. And so this time, this time, I put on as this a whole damn suit with a tie. And so I get there, and this manager, she's like, so you going to a funeral? I'm like, I was like, look, the man who I talked to the other time, he said, yeah, I need to wear a suit and a tie and this and that and that and that. And that. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what the hell. She was like, well, this is business casual, so it's not really that serious. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, I'm just trying to get a job here. I'm jobless. Like, I'm just trying to get a job. And this is before like jobs have gotten even worse, because this is like what, back in 2014, I think, right 2014 to 2015. So this is back when getting jobs was a little bit easier, but yeah. Anyway, so before she said, you know what, you start in 3 days like that, or tomorrow like that. I was like, oh, okay. She didn't really ask me any questions or whatever. She's like, just come on back. She said that she was hesitant to call me because I live far away from Montgomery. So I was like, I've always wanted to work at this cell phone company or whatever. Even though at the time I didn't know that it was not corporate or whatever, but anyway, anyway. So, I get that job, right? And so there was a lot of ups and downs in regards to that location. So this happened before or after. So the lady who hires me or whatever, apparently she leaves like after about maybe 3 months. And so, but that's after I'm fully trained. I already know how to handle a lot of situations. And so we don't have a manager for roughly about like, I think 2 or 3 months. But everybody knows what to do, so it's not that big of an issue. And then this Marine boss pops up. And he's an attractive guy. He looks good. Yeah. But so that's when the problem started. But anyway, so no. So let me go back to the first female manager or whatever. So when I get there, I'm trying to maximize every sale that I get. And so, because you have to meet your quota, you have quotas for insurance, extra devices, extra accessories, and some the things that the cell phone company was advertising at the time too. So you had to push all this stuff, and anything that made the company money, you had to try to sell it some way, somehow. And so I don't know if that manager knew anything about sales or not, but yeah. And so I was trying to, with every customer I kept trying to push these customers to get insurance. And I was like, we what did I say? We highly recommend. Well, we highly recommend, or we don't really like our customers to leave the store without having insurance on their phone, because it's a new phone. You might drop it and break it, and then what you gonna do? You can't just return a phone like that after the screen is cracked. Uh, we sell cases here. We don't really want you to leave the store without getting a case, a screen protector, and an extra charge, because who knows, your charge might mess up, or you try to sell, and you try to put someone inside of a position to fully understand that they need this product, and also give them as much of a discount as possible, etc. But anyway, you're trying to sell, and then if they're hesitant, and they're like, I can get this screen protector offline or whatever. Well, I'm like, okay, well, who's going to install it for you? Because I mean, those screen protectors are kind of difficult to install. I can put it on your phone perfectly here, and you can purchase it from here. Because if you put it on wrong, you're gonna end up wasting more money to get another screen protector or whatever. So it was just more and more. You find more and more ways to just try to make a sale, but also try to make a customer feel comfortable. Anyway, and so me trying to sell to people, the other people that were working there, they was like, you can't be doing that. You can't. They had no idea what the fuck sales was. They came from a completely different background. One dude, he sold sandwiches, and the other dude, I don't even know what he did, but he didn't have a sales background. I was the only one there that had sales background, and I had already previously almost been fired for not meeting my quotas multiple times. So I'm like, you're trying to tell me to not sell, but the job is sales, not to come here and help grandma and tell her the best cat food to buy or whatever, which is not your job. Your job is to sell. But anyway, so I got in trouble for trying to do my job, which is sales, and so then I think a month later or whatever, the head boss came in, and plus the district manager came in, and they were just like walking around here saying, this is how you sell. When a customer says they're gonna buy, you shut the fuck up. You don't say shit. And he's talking to these other people. I'm like, I get that. I'm like, you tell her that. And so for some reason, like a month later, she just not transferred. She left and she got another job. And so that began me basically going on my sales arc. Let me stop. And I was more temperamental, so I wasn't like going hard on sales. I was going like slightly more, since she was gone and there was nobody to try to sell and come to me and try to tell me how to sell and how not to sell, or basically how not to sell. Anyway, so. And then the other dudes, they were older, so they thought they had like, because they were there like a year before me or like 2 months before me. They were like, I have seen seniority over you or whatever. I'm like, you couldn't sell a peanut to a monkey, you couldn't sell a peanut to an elephant, and you trying to tell me how to whatever. Anyway, so months go by. This female manager is gone. And so I'm up here raking in a few sales or whatever, getting my commission or whatever. It's slightly above what I was making, but it wasn't like my full potential. Let me pause a second, because then comes in the Marine. Pause. Okay, I need to go back a little bit. So, anyway, so that same female manager or whatever. So there was this incident where this black customer came inside the door, and I ended up selling her like a tablet, a phone, and a watch or something like that, and several accessories too. And so she left, but I see the phone that I think I sold her was I'm not gonna name any names of the cell phone company. It wasn't Apple and it wasn't Samsung. But so I sold her a phone that had a promotion on it, but also it had like a little kickback in regards to like commissions. And so that phone ended up messing up on this woman. And so this woman, she came back and she was whoo. And so she was the manager, so that female manager, she was like, that black girl, she went off on me and her. And so I was like, because, and I was nice because the girl bought a tablet, a watch, accessories, and that phone. And so she was so the black woman was going ballistic on both of us. And I'm like, look, let me. But the black girl called her a lot of racist names in regards to a white woman. And so I didn't say anything defensive for that manager, and I could have, but then again, that could have costed me the sale, or the sales already made, but you can always return shit. So I'm like, especially within a certain amount of time, and also being that phone, it really was kind of the cell phone's fault. So she's going ballistic, and so that female manager, when that black customer left, she said, "I will pray for you," because I guess because I didn't defend her, but it's like I'm like, we're in sales. I'm trying to make us both money, and I'm trying to make sure that we retain that sale, because that was a big sale. It was anyway. But so if that manager is like listening right now, I still think about that day when that incident happened. I'm sorry, but that was our job. So anyway, so that manager, she ends up leaving months later after I'm hired. And so I think we go 3 months without a manager, and I'm making like slightly above average sales or whatever. I'm trying, but I'm not trying to, because that manager and the other dudes that are there who think they have seniority or whatever, they told me not to sit up and go full hard on sales like I did do at online. So I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, I want you to just be average. And then this Marine gets there. And so let me see if I can find this picture that I ended up taking or whatever. Let me pause. Okay, so I'm back. So I actually found it. This incident happened around like 2016. I keep records, or I try to. So around the time this Marine man became the manager or whatever, so we ended up at this cell phone sales company. We ended up having to be on an online chat to tell each other like what sales we're making, or if we need anything from another store. Basically what's going on. And so we have to post like what sales we made. And so on this day, around like sometime 2016, early 2016. So this dude from this Marine's ex store, he wasn't the manager at that store, at this other store. He was one of the workers there, and I guess he got promoted to manager, or he applied to become manager, and he transferred to our location. Anyway, so one of his ex co-workers at his store, they posted on his chat app or whatever. He said that, well, I just sold one charging cable, and so I'm gonna go down a list of stuff that I just sold. And so instead I typed in okay, and it was like I was saying to him like, okay, like that's it. And then so everybody else on his chat is saying like, he's just getting excited because we got at least like one little sale today. I guess it was just like a slow day. And so, but what they didn't know was throughout this entire time I was making a huge sale, a huge sale. And so apparently this new Marine manager, he's upset that I said okay. And so the same dude who had said that, I just sold a charging cable or whatever. He sends a message to that the Marine manager. He said, "Hey, can I get a tablet from your store? We're sold out." And so basically the Marine manager he says basically F you in this chat. And then so the dude who thinks that I said something to him about him selling like a charger, he says, "Hey me." He said, "Don't be hating. We all on the same team." And so I'm not even looking at this chat. I'm busy working on the sale. And so I get a text message or a call from, I get a text message from this manager, I think, or something. I don't know. Somehow, some way he contacts me. Or some way he contacts me. I don't have time because I'm working on the sale. And he's like, "What the fuck you doing?" I'm like, this how we're gonna start? This how we're gonna start? And so later on I post on his chat app or whatever. I said, so I sold 1, 2, 3. I sold 3 phones, 7 accessories, that's chargers, cases, screen protectors, whatever. No. Okay, I just added it all up. So 1, 2, 3 phones, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 accessories, and a tablet. And so I said under here, I said, "Sorry for the wait. I've been busy." And then I said to this other dude who's from his other store or whatever, I said, "By the way, I don't hate." I said, "I just simply rip new holes." And the dude who was like, "Whatever helps you sleep at night." And this is right. Yeah, whatever helps you sleep at night. And so basically, that's how I operate. Like I can be a monster because I think that manager, he had already said something to me before I got really into making those sales, because I sold like several things, but then even more stuff when he pissed me off, and I was like, okay, so we're starting like this. And so ever since that day around February 2016, that dude, he had it out for me. And so even though I sold the most stuff on that particular day, and the only reason why I made the post saying okay was like I was going to go down a list of a few things that I've sold at that point in time, but since I was so busy, I had to set up and like stop the post, and yeah. Anyway, so we start this man is he's a walking crazy head. So throughout his period of time at the location or whatever, him and me we're he's not talking to me. He'll talk to some other dude to tell me something. He don't even want to talk to me. And it's always like that. And if he does talk to me, he has like this he's antagonistic. And then if he ready to fight me some days. I'm like, okay. And then a customer come in or whatever, and he'll have a problem with the customer, and then he'll look at the customer all stupid or whatever, and then let the customer walk out the door or whatever. Then he'll go inside the back room back there and start screaming and shit. And he punched the refrigerator one day. I think there was a dent inside the refrigerator when I was there from him punching it. And then like a week or two later, he came inside of the store with the castings on. I'm like, what do you do? And so then other days you'll see him looking at some pictures of dudes with their shirts off and like via what I saw, via my opinion. And I guess he was looking at he wanted to go start working out or whatever and get himself I don't know, jacked. I don't know. Maybe he was into some other stuff. I don't know. I'm just saying the guy was just weird. I'm weird. I'm fucking weird. I'm doing astrology. I got if the FBI came here and fucking kicked in my door and was like, we got your ass Ice Blue. I got freaking 2 rubber ducks right here. Some freaking handcuffs right here. Oh shit. Some adult toys right here. That are the same dimensions as Bill Clinton's reported anatomy. Reportedly or whatever. Don't come out what you call. some some damn tarot cards, and a schematic of Bill Clinton's alleged reported anatomy size or whatever. And a ruler. And a ruler. I think 5 inches. Yeah, whatever. So, and now 2 metal balls. Holy shit. I didn't even so I'm weird too. Like, so I'm like, I'm not, that's not a insult. I'm just saying, like, that dude was weird. And yeah. So he was looking at dudes with muscular bodies on a computer screen. I guess maybe trying to figure out how he wanted to look, or who knows. But anyway, so he was always antagonistic to me, and I got to the point where I was like, look, if you put your hands on me, because he I think out of his mouth he said something happened with his partner or whatever, girlfriend or whatever, and I guess he was single or whatever. I don't know. And he anyway. He was just weird, and I wasn't uncomfortable. I was kind of like, I mean, I think the best word to say for it is uncomfortable, but concerned, because he was always antagonistic, always. And then at one point, I'm like, he's up here talking crazy about some dude or whatever over the phone. He didn't meet the person face to face. He was talking crazy to this dude. And so he gets that, and see this dude was jacked. Like this dude, he could pick up one arm, one, not the Marine, but some dude that was supposed to be like, I think repainting the location or something like that. And so this Marine came inside there thinking like that the dude was like a scrawny whatever, and like this dude was like jacked. He was like, and I think that's the first time that this Marine ever looked at me like he was like shook. Like, I'm like, he was like, why do you tell me this guy was like jacked? I'm like, you're talking to me? You're talking to me? Like, wow. Hell is really froze over. Whatever. Like, and our conversation, we didn't have conversations. It was like he would say something like, okay. Let's move on, because I'm like, he was just weird. Anyway, and so he is one of the reasons why I ended up buying my first pistol, my first 2 pistols. I bought a Glock 26 and a Colt Mustang Pocket Light, aluminum and steel, I think, but it started rusting, so I pawned it and got something else later on. Anyway, so let's see here. So this boss, he just did not like me after that incident where, I guess you could say he thought I embarrassed him in regards to those sales. You know, I made a fuck ton of sales that day. And so how he reacted to the other dude at his location or whatever, and he just became a manager. So time goes on. I think that what happened? I think there was an incident where I ended up selling like 5 phones or whatever that was supposed to be on sale, but I think the sale went off on those phones, and so it was an issue. But except in the end, it got solved. But let's see. I think another incident came up where I was supposed to have sold 5 more phones. However, another dude came inside of there and fucked up my sale. And yeah, what else? That manager was just antagonistic all the time. And so, and then I think he ended up writing me up 3 times within 2 months or 1 month. I think the first time was for trying to make a sale, another sale with 5 customers. Um, Another time was the drawer was over by $5 like that, and I tried to text him or call him, and he wouldn't pick up the phone, so I had to leave with the drawer being over by $5. Um, and the last time that he wrote me up, he said that I left the safe open, but I was like, I didn't leave the safe open, but he said I left the safe open. And the thing about it is that he opened, so I wouldn't know if I did or didn't, but I know I didn't. So I guess you can pull up on camera. So he wrote me up 3 times inside of within a month. And so what happened? So when he wrote me for the third time or whatever, I didn't know that he wrote me for the third time for leaving the. I think he said in the on the computer screen that I left the safe open. But even though I was not notified of that write up or whatever. But this little motherfucker, what he did was, because he thought that everything was like all said and done or whatever. He wasn't going to tell me that he wrote me up. What he did was he left his computer screen open on all three. There was 3 computers in the building total, and so all 3 screens in the building were left open with his login. And so it was on a page of where he submitted my termination write up or whatever. And so I didn't have a choice but to see it. So he didn't say anything to me. He just did it just to do it. It's like he just left it there for me to see, just so he can fuck with me. And so me thinking I'm fired. I'm like, okay, well I guess I'm fired then. I with my I don't know what day it was on or whatever. It was before my birthday though. It was that write up was around my birthday. And I said with my chick that I had got, I set up and had bought I think a lobster, some crab legs, and some. I got a picture. I took a picture of that too. Let me pause for a second. Ooh, did I pause? Okay, let me pause for a second. So what happened was, I think the write up was submitted around sometime late April, where this incident happened, where I think he left all the computer screens open on the screen where you submit or you post the termination write up or whatever. And so it was close to my birthday, so I said pretty much, I guess, with my last paycheck or whatever, I'm going to set up and have me a lobster dinner or whatever. So I bought a lobster, the whole lobster, and some crab legs and a cheesecake, and I had some blueberry wine too. But I said this time I was gonna drink some apple wine, whatever, 100% pure apple wine. Here's a picture of like, I was like, this is like my last meal of working at this cell phone company or whatever. Even though it was also my birthday too, but it was the day before my birthday. It was on April 25th, 2016. So this is the picture I took. So so I guess the dude, probably thought that and the lobster is sitting on top of like the crab legs in like a wok pan or whatever. So I guess the dude thought that it was over with and said and done with or whatever. But like I said inside my chart, you try to fuck me over, and karma will get your ass back some way somehow. And then what I did not know was that I didn't know, I didn't study astrology back during this period of time. Um, but anyway, so I was supposed to have been terminated, I believe, on May the 5th or the 6th, 2016. And so apparently, because so apparently, instead of me getting terminated, well, okay, no. So also being the fact that I knew that I should be getting terminated around this time now, because apparently I didn't take that as like somebody trying to be funny. I was like, that's let's let me know that, okay, well, I got to figure out what I need to do then. I don't that thanks for the heads up. So what I did was after this dude let that computer screen open or whatever. I said, okay, fine. I guess I got to bring back the old Ice 3 and pretty much start selling for real now. And so because I was already selling already anyway, because I was like because we was it was already a problem with this dude anyway. And so my sales were I was doing good anyway. And so yeah, so even before the write up or whatever, I was making a fuck ton of sales. And so my sales got to the point where everybody inside of the building, you can add their stats together, and they would not equal mine. Because I guess the boy pissed me off so goddamn much. He didn't like me, I didn't like him. And so I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and take the gloves off. And my ass started just selling like crazy. Like, yeah. Anyway, let me pause for a second. But it got to the point where I doubled all the stats of everyone inside of the building. You can add their stats up together, and they would not equal mine. And so I'm sitting here with a lobster dinner, a lobster and crab, and cheesecake dinner for myself on the day for my birthday. Anyway, I think this is my my last check that I'm getting from this work location. So May the 6th comes, and apparently he doesn't come to work. I'm like, okay. I'm not fired. What's going on here? So apparently the boy got demoted, and the manager that I tried to have a meeting with, because I had tried to have a meeting with his manager, the district manager as well. He ended up getting transferred to. Maybe what happened was that I did not leave the safe open, and they checked the cameras, and they saw that the safe was not open. Or maybe it's the fact that I doubled my sales stats doubled, and you can add them together, add everybody's stats inside the building together, and they would not equal mine, and they already were not meeting quota. So you're gonna fire your best salesman inside of the building, first of all. Second of all, you're gonna fire a motherfucker who hasn't missed a day of work ever, except for jury duty. Well, no. I didn't miss, because I said, look, I told jury duty, I'm like, look, I said I work in a commission-based environment, so I can't. And plus around the time of this court hearing, whatever, I have customers coming in. I have customers scheduled to come in, and if I'm not there, that's gonna cause a major financial loss for me. So even when I was supposed to went to jury duty, I was like, no, I'm not missing work. So I was never sick. I never took a sick day off, ever. Never put in my paid time off either, because I'm like, it's commission based, so you have to be at work to make money. So that was that. And then also, I worked Sundays. I never had a weekend off, ever. Never had a weekend off, ever. I worked Saturdays and Sundays. If somebody if I made it easy for the other people with seniority. Ooh, they both went to church. One was I think a preacher's son, and the other was he went to church every Sunday. And they was like, we can't when I guess when it came out that I might get fired or whatever, there was like, who's gonna be working Sundays? Nobody wanted to work Sundays, and I'm like, Sunday. And the thing about it is that on Sundays I work by myself. Like, there was nobody else there. The bitch Marine wasn't there. The two other seniority people weren't there either. So I'm sitting by myself, racking up sales. I'm like, those were the best fucking days. The best days. I'm like, I don't have to look at your dumb ass. I don't look at your dumb ass. I'm free. can every day be like this? And then the best times were when I got a swarm of customers, and like they and see, the thing about it is that when you're working at a location like this, they they're used to going into a location and having to sit there and wait like hours. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna handle all y'all bitches all at once. None of y'all bitches, y'all came inside, none of y'all bitches ain't leaving without either buying something or getting yourselves handled or whatever. So 10 people will pull up, and they know me. They're like, look, yeah. And so I raked in so many sales. I handled so many bill pays and everything all at once. And so I would let each customer know that I'm here by myself, but I want to try to handle everything all at once, and did it. Yeah, and it's also I know cell phones. I knew cell phones. So technical support, nothing to me. I can get your phone fixed in less than 2 minutes. And so people just came inside. They told their friends about me. I'm like, okay, talk that motherfucker right there. he got you. And so, where am I at? So Sundays, I love working Sundays, and I work by myself. Anyway, so you gonna fire the motherfucker who don't miss days, who also likes working weekends, and came to work early every day. Like I came to work 30 minutes early every day, just so that just in case one of these people, one of the workers there, they're taking too long to get something processed or whatever, like a technical support situation. If a person's out there trying to buy something, I'm clocking in to get that sale while you up here trying to sub in and talk about I don't know, maybe their girlfriend problems or whatever, or their dog dying problems or whatever. Maybe their ass itches and you want to sub and talk about that. I'm like, okay, I'm here to sub and get a sale. I can talk to you about your life situations like after I clock out. Anyway, so Sundays. You gonna find a dude that's like they're working his ass off, and it wasn't really like even a job to me. It was like basically life. Like I love my job, but anyway. So so I get there on May the 5th or the 6th, 2016, and he's nowhere to be found. The district manager's nowhere to be found, and apparently it came out that they got transferred or whatever. So who knows what happened? Anyway, when you try to fuck me over, that's how things play out. And this is like this that's not the only time it's happened. Like I said, it happened before where another manager, I think she was like jealous of me or whatever. She got demoted, and then she ended up leaving. Anyway, so that manager was one of the reasons why I ended up buying my first pistol. So okay, so that manager, we get a new district manager, and that store did not get a new manager for another like month or two. And so all the while, like so I'm working there as normal. We can self manage because we already know what's up and up on up and up. So one day I come to work, and apparently some man hits the back of my car, and I'm inside of the building. There's no cameras inside of the back. It's inside of the back of this cell phone company. So I'm like, I called the new district manager or whatever. I'm like, so what do I do? And he told me to call the cops, whatever, and try to figure it out. And so in the end, like I'm not gonna tell them because who knows? I might get famous and like somebody actually might watch this video and like I'm not gonna write this man out. Somebody in that area told me exactly what happened to my car, and so the police officer I told the police officer not to tell who told me what happened to my tell me not to snitch out the person who told me what happened to my car because that person I don't know what's going on inside their life situation. And so in the end I end up getting an insurance refund for my car getting hit or whatever. And from then on out, I never parked my car inside the same location behind the store location. But with that check or whatever. Oh no. So when I went out there to ask about who hit my car, uh, the first dude, he told me what happened. And then so I walked around, and so I tried to talk to another dude, and he knew what happened, but he was like, what you gonna do about it? He got in my face and all that other stuff. And I'm like, he got all irate and stuff, and I'm like, okay. And so that's another reason why I said I was gonna go ahead and buy me my first pistol or whatever, because he got in my face like he was gonna fight me. And so that was that. I think at the time, no, I didn't keep pepper spray on me. Eventually, I started keeping pepper spray on me, and a knife on me, and so eventually I started keeping a knife on me, Benjamin Infidel, and what do you call this? Acupressure pen or whatever. So it's a pen, but you can also fuck somebody up with it. So, oh, stretch a little bit. Okay. So the dude got in my face and whatever. After he knew who hit my car. It was actually his boss. And so since the other person already had told me what had happened, I was waiting till the police officer got there, and I said, "Hey, this dude told me what happened, but being that I don't know what his circumstances are, don't tell him that don't let anybody know that he told me what happened. Just talk to those guys over there that they got in my face or whatever." And then so the police officer said, "Okay, cool." He walked up to the police or whatever. The police officer walked up to the people or whatever, and he was like, "Hey, we already know what happened or whatever. You need to tell your boss to come on back and get this straightened out. Bring the same vehicle that he hit the car with or whatever." And it was like, how you know that our boss did and all this stuff? There ain't no cameras around here. There ain't nothing. You ain't. He said, look, either you call your boss and tell him to bring the same vehicle that he used to hit this car with, or he said, I want to tow every car out here, and you're going to have to figure that shit out. And so he said, you can't do that. He said, bitch, watch me. And so the boss man came back. They matched the damage, and then so the man was still acting stupid. And so he was like, so he admitted. So the police officer, luckily, had a camera on him. So the police officer said that he asked him the questions, and the man admitted on camera that he hit the car. But he was like, "There's no." So, but the man, he's still going irate. He was like, "There's no proof that I did it, and yada. You can't do shit about it." And the police officer like, "I got you on camera right here, admitted that you hit the boy's car." And he was like, "Oh." And so I said, from that point on, well, so I get the insurance check or whatever. I'm like, look, I'm buying me a pistol. I already had the issue with the Marine boss. I had the issue with this motherfucker hitting my damn car, and and that could have been a way worse than what it was. I said, from now on out, I want to have me a mini pistol on me and a backup pistol too. So I bought me the Glock 26 with two 30-round magazines and a Colt Mustang Pocket Light. With my next check that I had got and the insurance check that I got, because I was like, you know what, fuck it. Anybody can hit my damn car, and like, yeah, it can be anyway. Whew. So that was that. So months later, we get a new manager. I think he was an ex Air Force pilot or something like that. And so he was actually nice. But except he was kind of you couldn't trust him. And he ended up stealing some of my sales or whatever. So I'm like, yeah. Me and him had a situation, but it wasn't like, well, I was kind of like upset, but I'm like, it is what it was. It wasn't like that. Like, not like with the Marine. Like I said, there's still a dent inside the refrigerator from that Marine punching punching the refrigerator. I think he ended up coming back to work one day with his arm inside the cast because I think he tried to punch a brick wall or something like that, or he punched something. I don't know. Don't care. Good for him. But anyway, so those two incidents were the reasons why I ended up buying my first pistol, first two pistols. But not only that, I worked on second shift, so it's like I'm working night shift, somewhere inside of Montgomery. So it's like you don't never know when somebody might try to pop up and try to rob you, or whatever. So that's just that. But not only that, you never know if you might run into a situation where somebody might hit your damn car, and you try to talk to a person, they get inside your face and act like they're gonna fight you or whatever. You don't know if they got some on them either. So it is what it is. Whew, so that was a lot. So that new Air Force manager or whatever, he's manager for a while. There's one incident that happened where I think it was around Christmas. Around Christmas or whatever, somebody breaks into this cell phone location or whatever, and they rip some tablets some display tablets off the or iPads off the display thing or whatever. And so the manager, that Air Force manager or whatever, apparently they couldn't get a hold to that guy or whatever. So I ended up having to drive a long way back up there, not getting compensated for that drive or whatever. But I go there in the middle of the night to try to set up and talk to police officers or whatever, and try to get everything organized and stuff like that. So I was basically acting almost as a manager at one point, even though I wasn't getting paid for it, and even though I was Anyway, so later on, come to find out, they changed the oh my god, it's so much. They changed the way that managers get paid. So now they turned this manager from a regular manager to a sales manager. So this man, he started stealing my sales. Stealing my sales, and I'm like, and plus he's also making, on top of that, additional manager commission, even though I'm doing most of the damn fucking work. So I'm like, I wasn't really even upset about that until he started taking my sales, and that's where things became a problem. So me and him got into an argument, and then it's like he started plotting a way to get rid of me or whatever, which he eventually did. However, 1 month after he wrote me up for like the third time or whatever, for not meeting my sales quota or whatever, because it was still my sales in my report. Well, via my opinion, 1 month after he fired me or whatever, he got fired. So this is how it always plays out for me. Am I missing anything? So those were my career oriented jobs or whatever. Now the temp jobs I worked at or whatever, this weird crazy stuff happened at those locations too. But I'm not gonna get into that. I've already been talking for an hour and 28 minutes. Shit. Let me take a break for a minute because I forgot what I was trying to up the point. So let me pause. Okay, so I do need to add this though. I went out and came back in, so I don't know if I'm on the same. But anyway, so basically that same Marine manager that got demoted or whatever. So the thing about it is that if he wasn't such an asshole, he could have probably made bank as a manager, because when they changed it so that you could become a sales manager, but not only that, you gain additional commissions on top of that. He missed out on a huge payday, and so that's probably what could have led, because he was demoted and transferred, I think, back to his store location, this home store location. And so imagine being demoted, but not only that, losing the ability to sub and get your manager commission, but also sales commission too, a double commission. So that's, yeah. So he could have been making bank, but he had to sub and mess around and mess me up. So, and in the end, he ended up leaving. Who knows? I don't know if he quit, got fired, or maybe he went on military leave or whatever. I don't know. Good riddance. So yeah. So all the new benefits that the new manager had got, that ex Marine could have had, but no, that Marine could have had, whatever. Anyway, so I think I want to start talking about my about the temp companies that I started working for, which led to the final uh cell phone company store that I worked at, which led to the end of my career or whatever. So let me pause. Okay, I guess I'm back. Whatever. Okay, so I took a break or whatever. I had to run and do some other stuff, whatever. Hopefully, this stuff isn't looking too bad on my face or whatever. I had to try to reapply some stuff in some locations because I washed my face off. I might just go ahead and just wash my face off and get all the stuff off my face now, but I want to talk a little bit longer and then, yeah. Okay, so I said I was gonna. So I get terminated from that cell phone location, and so upon termination or whatever, I think I apply for unemployment. I get my unemployment, and I get my unemployment. So I think it terminated around like April the 12th or the 15th, 2017, and then on my birthday, April 26th, 2017, my best friend, she tries to commit suicide. I think all the way on April the 15th, around that time. And so I had to pick her up on my birthday on April 26th, 2017. All the while there's a full moon or a new moon. I think it's a new moon that exactly conjoined my son around that time. So I think she tried to commit suicide by downing several pills. Ooh, well, I don't even care. It's hot in here. Mm-hmm. Plus, I've been like running up and down the road and stuff. Okay, but I don't know if this makeup looks crazy or not. Um, Whatever. But so she committed suicide. Well, so I check her out of the hospital on April 26th, 2026. That was my birthday. April 26th, 2017, which is my birthday. Um, and then apparently she committed suicide. I get my unemployment on May the 2nd, 2017, and she committed suicide on May the 5th or the 6th, 2017. So I draw my unemployment for the full amount of time, and then so I'm applying for jobs left and right, trying to get a job back at another cell phone company location, and like nobody would hire me. And then another interview process that I had to post a video using my phone of me answering questions or whatever. But it's the software that they used or whatever. It would not play out the entire question. No, it would record my full answer to the question, and they wanted like a detailed answer. And so yeah, so that was that. So the makeup is apparently still on. Ooh. After all that padding, whatever. Okay. Um. So I draw my employment. I think around October 2017, and then I pawned my Glock 26 and I pawned my Colt Mustang Pocket Light and my Glock 26 because the Glock 26 was too small for me, and the Colt Mustang Pocket Light, it was starting to rust, and the rust was just difficult to get to clean, and because my life was going to shit already. So I was like, it makes no sense to have something that can't tolerate the small things when I'm going through a whole life change right now. And so I pawned both of them or whatever. I ended up buying. I kept my two 30 round magazines or whatever, and I bought this Spyderco paramilitary, Spyderco square head. I'm sorry, a titanium. Ooh, you can't have your keys on. Well, these keys don't work with anything anyway. So so and then yeah, so it's a keychain knife or a neck knife or whatever, or a dog tag knife or whatever. I bought that as like a memoir to me selling those two pistols or whatever, because they were useless to me at that point. And so let's see here. Now I said I was gonna in the future I was gonna get a bigger pistol than the Glock 26. Anyway, so so the friend I had here, who we was just messing around, pretty much we're friends. Now we're not doing anything, but so that friend, basically we were, like I said inside my previous video, she was like, we was going back and forth to store locations and drinking or whatever, and while I was also trying to apply for jobs because, yeah, and I refused. She wanted me to go to the skating ring inside of Montgomery, at the Montgomery Mall or whatever. And I'm like, no, because I might slip, fall, and break I might slip, fall, and not skating ring, but ice skating ring in the Mall of Montgomery. And I'm like, I'm not going there because I might slip, fall, and break my damn leg or whatever. But and then also like she was like, yeah, I missed out on so much because I was trying to apply for jobs left and right and left. So we just sit at the house. I applied for jobs. And we just drank or whatever. And watched movies or whatever. And I showed her a place to go that we can go swimming or whatever. I doubt I'd drown, but yeah. So we went swimming, watched movies, and drank. And she was the only friend I ever actually let inside of my house because I was working all the time, so I didn't have time to even hang out with anybody. Nor it's like every time I try to set up and have a friend or have somebody close to me or whatever, they always somehow some way fuck me over. So I was very, very cautious of keep people around. Anyway, October gets here. I pawn my two pistols or whatever, and she says, well, you can get a temp job or whatever. You can go to these places and get a temp job. And so that's what I did. I don't have a stress ball. I got a job at a temp location or whatever. And it was the first job I ever had where I didn't work like 5 days a week. I worked 2 days on, 3 days off, 3 days on, 2 days off. And that was like a first man. I was used to working like basically every day, especially working at the cell phone companies or whatever. And then even getting unemployment, I had never been without a job or had that much free time in my entire life ever. So being on unemployment, I had never had that much free time in my entire life. It got boring. So keep in mind that 2017 was the beginning of my Saturn return. I turned 27 years old on that day, and on the exact day, my best friend, I had to pick my best friend up from trying to commit suicide. The friend that was here, of course, she wasn't that one. But anyway, what else happened? There was one incident with me and that friend or whatever. We went to Dollar Tree somewhere in Auburn or Opelika, Alabama. And so there was we went to Dollar Tree, and the juices, they had some Welch's juices, Welch's grape juice for like $1. Like this is like the 100% grape juice. And so I loaded up a cart full of all those grape juices. And this girl looked at me and she was like, "Get away from me! You're embarrassing me." I'm like, "Do you know how expensive these juices are?" "I don't care." This is the same friend I said that she said that she would never go shopping with me because she said that she does not, my opinions are so fucked up. That's like she does not want my opinion on a dress, a pair of pants. She said she doesn't even want my opinion on a pair of socks. And so, yeah. Anyway, I get a job at this plant or whatever, and so I worked there for like 3 months, and the man who was the manager or whatever, he just refused to hire me. I don't know why. And so I went to his boss, and asked him how do I get hired on because it's a temp job. And he said, oh, you just go to the website. You've already been for like 3 months. And so as soon as I did that, that manager, he ended up hiring somebody off the street, a crippled man off the street with a had a cane, off the street, just so that I would not get hired on. And so, and then the man tried to put me on third shift because I was on first shift. I was trained for first shift, and instead of hiring me, he went and found him out of the street and hired him inside in the job that I was supposed to have been training for. And so me and him got into it, and then so he ended up firing me or whatever, and so I got my unemployment after that. Again, then when that unemployment ran out or whatever, because I was still applying for I applied for another. I applied while I was there because when that man he hired the other man instead of me, I tried to apply to another cell phone company, and then I also tried to apply to Wells Fargo. They both, and then see I the man at the that cell phone company, he told me that he said that he's gonna hire me or whatever, and all this other stuff, whatever, during the interview. And then months go by, and then I get an email saying, "Oh, we found somebody else to take that spot." So I'm like, okay, I was pissed off. I was mad as hell. But anyway, me and the man got into it. I get my unemployment for several months because it's like I kept applying for jobs. I drove all the way from here to I think Atlanta. That's like an hour or two drive. Trying to go to an interview with this man, mind you. And so that's that. And as I remember driving on the road, had the radio on, and the numbers 222 popped up on in regards to the time. And then the song, if it's meant to be, it'll be, let it be. What is it, Bebe Rexha? And let me pause a second. Okay, so it's called Meant to Be by Bebe Rexha, featuring Florida Georgia Line. I guess it came out in 2017, October 23rd. So, and yeah. So I was driving down the road, going to this this interview. Keep in mind, this is like I was going from one interview to the other back to back. I drove all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, for this interview, and then I had to drive all the way like a long way, somewhat like yeah. And so I'm driving on the road, and like this song comes on. If it's meant to be, well, let me get the lyrics real quick. Pause. So I think it goes like, if it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Babe, just let it be. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be. Babe, just let it be. And so this is the first time I heard this song on the radio. I don't listen to the radio. I worked my ass off to the point where I'm like, I don't really care about too much stuff. But it apparently came out in 2017. And so I'm driving on the road, 2018. This is February the 22nd, 2018, I think. And so I'm just driving on the road and hearing that this song. I'm like, I had to pull out my phone and use Shazam and record it just so I wouldn't miss it. But anyway, so I went to both of these interviews back to back and nothing. Went to the interview for Wells Fargo, nothing. And so kept just drawing my unemployment. Things got so bad. The friend that was here, whatever, she was like, let's go to the ice skating ring or whatever, and like just have a little fun or whatever. I'm like the first, like I think previously before those interviews went through or whatever. Previously before I went to those interviews, I was like, okay, I was like not okay. I was like I might break my leg and I might get the job and it'll ruin everything. And then after so many rejections, I was like, you know what, let's go ice skating, whatever. And so we went. Apparently, I'm good at ice skating. And this girl was shocked. I'm like, she was like, you swear you never been ice skating before? I was like, no. And so I didn't break my damn leg. I didn't fall. Well, I did fall a few times, but it wasn't catastrophic. And so it was interesting. But she refused to go shopping with me. She refused to show me any clothes that she had in mind in regards to like buying. Anyway, so I was just drawing unemployment and trying to do the best I can and apply to jobs or whatever. So the next job I got right after the unemployment ran out was another temp job. Where was that? Pause. Okay, so the next job I got was at another location or whatever, at a plant or whatever. But instead of working first shift like I was trained for at the other job, they put me on second shift this time. And so let's see, I think I worked until I got my income tax check or whatever, right? Yeah. And then I got my income tax check and I was trying to apply to even more jobs. Uh and so in the end I ended up applying to the job where this girl filed a false sexual harassment claim on me. I'm trying to see is that everything. Yeah, all the other temp jobs I think I left or whatever because I was trying to get back into my career orientated job or whatever. So I went through like roughly like four temp jobs or whatever, and then unemployment, and then it's a lot. So one temp job, then unemployment, then temp job, then unemployment, then temp job, then I finally got a breakthrough where I got uh this job at this location. It was a cell phone company self location. I'm so tired. It's a lot of stuff. But okay. So I was supposed to have got hired on what is it? March the 18th, 2019 or whatever. But apparently this manager hired my side of my spot and told me to stay at home on my first day. And then I wait for like a week. And I'm like, when do I start? You said I started on this day. And then so apparently they say, okay, we'll come in like a week later. And then I get there and they tell me that, oh, this female or whatever, they're gonna be here for a couple of days or whatever. Don't worry about it. And then next thing you know, I'm like, okay, so I get a email saying, okay, you need to start working doing I have several videos about this that I think I made all the way in May 2025. Let me see what it's called. Let me pause. Oh, it's called. They're titled "Why I as a Black Man Voted for Donald Trump." Let me pause a second. Okay, so it's right here. But all my videos had like the same image. But if you type in "Why I as a Black Man Voted for Donald Trump," you'll find it. Maybe. But anyway, I think it's like some of my highest watch videos so far. The highest video view count that I have so far is like 160 views, I think. Anyway, so I'm finally at this location after waiting a week, and but not knowing that this man had transferred or hired this girl inside of my spot on the day that I was supposed to have started. And I'm getting emails saying that you have training courses to do and log in here. This man says, "Oh, don't worry about those training courses or whatever. Don't worry about it." And so I'm like, "Okay, when does training start? Don't worry about it." And so then next you know, I work one day with this girl and she files a false sexual harassment claim on me. And then they try to bar me from coming back to work after that. So I'm just something like, and so I'm like, don't. And I told this man specifically. I said, don't you know that people's careers are destroyed because of this? And I talked to HR, and nothing. They saw the schedule. They saw this girl was put on the schedule on the day that I was supposed to have started working. They saw that I received those emails from them and yeah. And then the text message, the man sent me a text message saying not to do the training courses or whatever. It's like he already knew that he was trying to from the get go he was trying to fire me before I can even start. Keep in mind also I refused another job just so that I could get this job or whatever or that job. Even though I really didn't want it. The reason why I haven't went crazy and went ham for in regards to that situation was because I didn't really want the job because I really wanted to work at corporate, not just a retail location. But that's yeah, it's here or there. I'm out of energy, so I'm like you can probably tell. But let me pause a second. Yeah, but that's a crazy story. I still got the emails from me going back and forth with HR. I still got the schedule, which I had to get later on after all this stuff went yeah down. So yeah. So I've already said all this. I've already said this. I gave the full story in my video titled "Why is a Black Man Voted for Donald Trump?" If you care enough to watch it, I mean, if you care enough about it, about that situation where this female filed a false sexual harassment claim on me that which destroyed my career. I mean, it's there. I think I have pictures in that video too, so you can see like some things or whatever. But anyway, I just want to step and I guess post this video just so that I didn't sound too crazy in regards to as a follow up to my video that I posted on July the 24th, where I was going like off about I guess my ex Marine boss or whatever, and talking about I think Dan Bongino and him hanging around some a Navy SEAL, two dentists and a lawyer or something like that, whatever. I'm sorry, but I don't not a fan of like uh high profile, well, career oriented people anymore, or yeah, military oriented. I don't. I haven't had too many good experiences with them. That's all. That's how it was. It wasn't any kind of what threat or any kind of yeah bad blood or whatever. Just saying. Anyway, so just getting this out there before Cash Patel kicks my door in and said something about I threatened my old boss or whatever. No, it's just that guy was kind of he was there was something off about him, and he was always ready to. It's just, it was something weird about him. Yeah. Anyway, so I think that's gonna be it for me. Also, another reason why I was making a video today is because Transit Mercury its station went direct, and that was on the 24th of July, 2026. But also, it is currently 4:44 p.m. right now. If you can see at the top right here, right or right here, I don't know. So yeah, maybe it's an angel number to saying that yeah, good luck. But yeah, so I think Transit Saturn began a retrograde at 3 o'clock this evening. So anyway, so I guess I'm gonna call it quits for now. This is like just a I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy update video. So anyway, that's gonna be it for me. Bye. I'll wash my face and get this makeup off my face or whatever, and then so you can see how I look without it. Whatever yeah. Let me see. How do I just? So like I said, I'm using. I did an early application of this video of this stuff. Oh my god, I cannot talk. I'm so tired. You can tell I hate making videos, but anyway, I put this stuff on my face earlier, and so far it's worn pretty well. I've sweated a lot. I've walked a good amount. So yeah, and yeah, I did try to reapply some stuff or whatever over time, but I guess it's holding up. And it is hot. It's 91 degrees here, so I'm gonna wash my face and then I'm gonna call it quits. Pause. Okay, so I'm back. So this is me without any makeup on or whatever. I got like a little sheen spray on my face, or whatever. Besides that, like oil sheen spray, or whatever, like the setting spray I got created or made or whatever with the vitamin E oil. But this is me. I think there's a little spot right here that you should be able to see right here. And I did have like I guess like a mosquito bit me on the face right here, so I don't know if you can see that too. But anyway, so I can finally wipe my face now with my freaking hands and like not worry about something coming off. Anyway, So I forgot to say that pretty much I started studying astrology. Well, I've been started studying astrology all the way back in 2012 or 13. But I got serious about it around 2018 when that man at this temp company, he would not he hired this other man instead of me. So that's just that. And since then, I was trying to beat the lottery, but since then it's like I see that pretty much some things are meant to be and some things are not meant to be for you. And winning the lottery is like probably not my future, but politics is for some reason, and religion for some reason is. Looking at my astrology. But anyway, I think it's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna try to hold off until like 2 hours. So and I'm gonna do another facial shiny right there. Whatever. Um, yeah. I know it's gonna be a dark. It's gonna probably turn into a dark spot right here. I can feel it because I think either a mosquito or a bug bit me right there. But I was really trying to hide that dark spot on my nose right there. And again, the astrologer for Bill Clinton. So far, what's happened so far is that I've seen the pattern of him going through the same astrology as his impeachment and the Monica Lewinsky scandal. However, none of those planets were malefics. Uranus, Mars, and Saturn are malefics. And Bill Clinton's progressed moon is going to make an aspect to his progressed and natal Uranus on August 9th, 2026. So, Sun and Chakra should happen around that day in regards to him. Whether somebody wants it to happen or not, but that's going to be the date. As a matter of fact, I think it's the only malefic that's going to hit inside of Bill Clinton's chart this year. Now, Hillary Clinton, her progress and natal Saturn is going to be hit on September 27th and October 1st, 2026. However, for some reason, Bill Clinton, he gets lucky on October 1st, 2026. I don't understand that. Just like I didn't understand all the way back on June the 13th, 2026, that Hillary Clinton, she got lucky on that day. But Bill Clinton was going through the same astrology as the beginning of his trial on that day. So something weird is going on. So that's all I know. I've given as much of a backstory in regards to my career situation and in regards to that Marine boss that I could. So that's the only reason why I made this video. To just post a video of me being sane while drinking water instead of alcohol, because I was drunk yesterday. I said a lot of crazy shit, I think. So anyway, that's gonna be it for me. Well, I said 2 hours. I mean, yeah, 2 hours total. Let me see here. Is there anything else that I can add to this video? I'm tired of just repeating myself about my career, whatever. Yeah. Let me see if any new news has came out yet. Let me pause. Oh, so what I did not know was that Donald Trump, he hosted another dinner meeting on June the 24th, 2026. That was the same day I made my drunk post. So that's interesting. There weren't any hiccups that day. Referencing the dinner that they had on, I believe, April the 25th, 2026, where some guy who said that he was going to take out everybody inside the building except for Cash Patel. Let me find this picture real quick. Yeah, so his name was Cole Thomas Allen, and he tried to assassinate Donald Trump at the 2026 White House Correspondents Association dinner. And he said he was going to take out everybody inside the building except for Cash Patel. So Cash, who's this bitch? Man, who was this bitch? I thought I was your only weirdo. But no, it seems like you have others. Anyway, how much time has passed? Okay. I'm going to stop it at 2 hours exactly. So yeah, this is this guy right here, Cole Allen Thomas. He's under some aluminum sheet or something like that. Who knows? Anyway, that's gonna be it for me. I was trying to get it like exactly 2 hours. So hey, pause for another second. Oh, but I do have to say that I did predict that Donald Trump or whoever. So I did predict the assassination attempt on Donald Trump that happened on or around April 26, 2026. So yeah. So bye.